The developer diary for The Walking Dead PTB is finally out, and it includes a lot of spicy new stuff, so let's talk about it. And let's start with a huge new introduction to the game, and that's a Fog Vial, the newest item survivors will have. The Fog Vial is just like a medkit or a toolbox, so it's not a limited time item like a flashbang. It is an item that works like a smoke bomb, creating a cloud that dissipates after time, removes scratch marks inside of it, causes the audio to be muffled, and hides your auras when you are inside, including of the killer. It comes with a selection of add-ons, and it's not a one-time use that consumes it, as it comes with a cooldown that recharges over time, allowing survivors to use it more than once per match. These items, I assume, work in a similar way to the fog crystals from the past Halloween event, so it's cool seeing them testing these things to add to life. We can expect the fog crystals to not appear again this Halloween. I am very excited to see this item in the game, as this is truly the very first gameplay change that survivors will get in literal years. It's true that in the event, this item was interesting but not outstanding like a medkit with a syringe, so I am curious to see if in the full patch notes how the add-ons will work like and if they have any game-changing effects, like for example an add-on that slows the killer down when they get inside the gas, which could be game-changing for looping. This item is an amazing addition to the Deception playstyle, which previously had nothing. Keys have also gotten a change in this patch, as now the charges are not a bar that can be consumed, but rather it is the amount of individual uses a key has. So now, keys can be channeled in order to consume one charge and reveal the survivor's aura for a limited time. When coming close to a hatch, a charge can also be used to open it, which might mean that the key is no longer consumed. And for the first time ever, keys can be used to unlock a chest quickly, giving the survivor an item of rare rarity or higher. And once a chest has been opened with a key, your other teammates can rummage that chest in order to gain an additional item of rare rarity or higher, basically allowing a single chest to be used twice. Of course, the add-ons of the keys will be reworked and adjusted to fit this new design. This update made keys much more interesting to use, as before their only purpose was to open the hatch for an achievement or see the aura of the killer with the Blood Amber add-on. Now, they can be used during the match for information base kit, so if you get a key in the middle of the match, it's no longer an useless thing, which is a buff to the broken key, which was literally a piece of trash before. Keys also got a completely new and unique mechanic that makes chests more interesting to use compared to before, and giving your teammates the ability to use those chests too, duplicating items. Overall, this makes keys much more attractive to use, and I am excited to see what add-on reworks they cooked for them, because I assume that the Blood Amber add-on is staying. Maps got a similar change to keys, as in the charges are now individual uses rather than the overall time it can be used for. Consuming a map charge will reveal every pallet and vault nearby for a limited time, and when the auras are revealed, using the map again will create a beam of light that reveals the auras of generators inside the beam to all of your teammates, so it's kind of like a base kit glass bead, which was the add-on that allowed you to put a pillar of light in the map. The add-ons will also be adjusted. I am very curious to know if maps no longer allow you to see the auras of totems nearby, but this could be an add-on or the effect of the rainbow map, making them viable for the first time ever, as now they serve a purpose even when the killer is not the trapper, or even if the killer is not using hex totems. Maps are a windows of opportunity on command, and funnily enough, the item of choice for loopers that are not planning on using styptics and syringes. A massive quality of life change was added, and that's extra presets for both customization as well as builds, and you can name them too, making it easier for you to click on the build you want, like having a dedicated Lightborn build for all killers or a dedicated Genrush build for your survivors. This is an amazing change overall. Console players can finally use keyboards and mouse, so in other words, PlayStation and Xbox players are finally able to use the Trickster without getting an aneurysm. Once again, great change. Custom matches have been improved in quality of life, as now there is a hotkey to switch to the killer immediately. There are new hotkeys to allow you to switch to specific survivors, as well as hide those hotkeys if needed. and there is a new visual indicator to show which survivor you are spectating. This is a great change and a big buff for DVD League, which I assume the behavior partnership was what motivated this change. Expect hence killer showcases to look much better after this patch. You won't believe what I am about to say. The devs actually remembered how Pyramid Head's add-ons suck, as they will be getting a rework. Pyramid Head is also getting various changes to his patch, starting with increasing his base kit range of the Punishment of the Damned, increasing the duration of the trail drawing staying in the match, but they reduced the speed of Rites of Judgment, as well as finally made it so that Pyramid Head no longer can tunnel survivors out of cages, which, to be completely fair, is a huge nerf but big quality of life improvement for survivors. I am unsure on what they mean with input buffering at the last part, which could be related to his zoning capabilities being another nerf, so I will test this out in the PTB to see if I notice any difference. The devs have said that the range add-ons were made partially base kit, and that now there are some add-ons that adjust the spread of Punishment of the Damned or trigger effects on misses, like maybe Killer Instinct. This is very exciting, and we will have to see if any of the add-ons will allow Pyramid Head to keep the A tier status, because this killer is for sure strong, but the tunneling element will hit him hard if you play to win. It's important to note that they didn't say that perks will now work with cages, so that means Decisive Strike and Pop Goes the Weasel will still not work. Surprisingly, the clown got a side grade to his power. Overall, he will recharge the bottles faster, and now the yellow bottles will be stronger, with more haste, bigger area coverage, and increased its activation speed, but the purple bottles will hinder less and have less of a lingering effect. Input buffering was also added to the bottle throws and reloads, and the various add-ons are going to be adjusted, which I expect to be nerfs. This change is motivated due to how the majority of clown mains only use the purple bottles and completely ignore the yellow ones, which makes sense as that was the easiest way to play clown, but a very limiting one as you didn't get full benefits of his power. Now, players will have to learn to use the yellow bottles, because the only purple playstyle is nerfed. We will see if this change is an overall buff or a nerf, as without numbers it's hard to tell. The Knight also got various changes to his kit, as it seems they added Call to Arms as partially base kit, which is very useful, and now the Carnifex will have the banner spawn slower compared to the Assassin and Jailer, which will spawn quicker, so this is a gameplay change. I feel that overall this is going to make Knight feel less add-on dependent, as Call to Arms was an add-on that I basically never removed from him. This standard change could make Carnifex into an interesting choice for a hunt, as now survivors will have to run more if they want to avoid a hit, whereas with Assassin, it's going to be the fastest hunt by far, adding new elements of counterplay. The pig got a buff to her power instead of a nerf, as now her crouch movement speed is faster, crouching and encrouching is faster, the turn radius fades faster when crouching, ambush speed has been buffed, and various add-ons were adjusted. The devs wanted Pig to be more sneaky than before, buffing her stealth capabilities and potentially her anti-loop depending on which add-ons they make base kit and if they plan to nerf them. Various survivor perks are going to get changes in this patch, which are Any Means Necessary, Appraisal, Better Together, Build to Last, Deja Vu, Detective's Hunch, Potential Energy, Still Sight, and a rework to Streetwise. Some of them are going to get numerical changes to buff them up, as they had a low pick rate. Some will be adjusted to be compatible with the new survivor item changes, like the charges refilling from Build to Last. And finally, various killer perks will be changed, like Dragon's Grip, Franklin's Demise, Hubris, Insidious, as well as a rework to Overwhelming Presence and an update to Scorch Hook, Hangman's Trick. I am very curious to see what they will change for these perks, as outside of Dragon's Grip and Franklin's Demise, all of them suck currently. Remember to stay tuned for tomorrow's PTB, which will include 2 licensed survivors, which are confirmed to be from The Walking Dead. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day!